And I think we'll go ahead and get started. Oh, and here's Catherine, so I'm sure others will join. We are going to start standing, and this is our level 2 vinyasa class. All right. Start with your feet about sit bone distance apart. As always, we're going to take a moment to just decide to really step out of our heads and into the body. And again, we do that tangibly, using as many senses as we can to feel into the present moment through our body, to listen to the sound of our breath, the sound of our heartbeat, even sounds around you. If you just tune in to what is actually happening right now, it doesn't have to be in your body, right? But using your senses to find out what is happening in this moment. And as always, with your eyes closed or open, you're perceiving of where the breath is and where the breath could be. Using your mind as another sense. In yoga, the mind is considered another sense, right? So feeling into that idea, but using your mind as a sense, something that keeps you tangibly present, and directing the breath with your mind's eye to a specific part of your body. And you can decide what that is today. But I would say somewhere that's maybe a little harder to access, especially after a day of work. And bring your arms down alongside your torso. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. You can keep your eyes closed or open. Root down a little bit more through the soles of the feet, the inner edges of your feet. And of course, still the outer edges, but make sure we're not rolling out and sinking down. Lift the sternum, lift the entire rib cage away from the pelvis. At the same time, feel like you're plugging your sit bones into the earth energetically. So that already this Tadasana pose feels like traction for your spine. And a really nice, easy stretch on the neck as the crown draws up while the fingertips reach down and the shoulders move away from your ears. Take a final exhale, really plugging into your inner strength, that inner core connection. Open your eyes if you haven't already. Sweep your arms overhead and take an inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to your thighs, round your back and engage your abdominals here. Good. On your in-breath, extend the spine. And out-breath, draw navel in, chin toward the soft part of the throat. Inhale, find your extension. And exhale, round. This time, place your ribs all the way down to your thighs. On your next exhale, keep your hands on your thighs, but just pour your torso forward. Ribs are still touching the thighs. Your hands are pushing fairly strongly right now into the quadriceps. And it's almost like your thigh bones are pushing back into the pressure of your hands. Your elbows are splaying out. And we're feeling, again, like we're tipping the entire pelvis forward. So it feels like we're pouring our spine. And you can think of your spine as more liquid and less solid, but pouring your spine directly out of your pelvis. From there, we're going to take an inhale and extend forward, lengthening through the crown of your head. Exhale, bring your ribs back in, push hands into thighs, thighs back into that pressure, flare the elbows out and draw the crown down. Inhale, extend the spine forward, keep your neck long and neutral. Exhale, fold, reach your ribs to the thighs, reach your crown to the ground. Keep the shoulders moving away from the ears and the fronts of the shoulders broadening. One more time, inhale, breathe your rib cage forward more as you rise. Exhale, place the ribs back to the thighs, pour your spine out of the pelvis, tilting the pelvis a little further forward as you draw your crown closer to the ground. And now bring your hands to the floor. Next inhale, reach the palms forward until your arms are straight. Extend your spine from that once you have extended your arms. Good, keep your arms there. Exhale, fold in. Straighten out your legs as much as you can, but keep your hands forward. Inhale, extend. See if you can walk your fingertips a little further forward on that next extension. Exhale, fold, crown toward the ground and ribs towards your thighs. One more time, inhale, extend. Walk the fingertips a little further forward, get a little more length from your hips to your pinky fingers. As you exhale, draw the navel in, pull the ribs towards your thighs. Root down through your feet, reach your arms out to either side of the room and begin to reverse your swan dive. Eventually inhaling your arms over your head. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Good, reach up and open up. Exhale, dive. We're gonna move into our half series now, folding in. Inhale, slow undulation, taking your time with the way you breathe your spine into extension. Exhale, bring your crown to the ground, ribs to your thighs. Make sure your quads are strong. Lift your heels up just a little bit and begin to rise up so that you can keep your hips over your heels while you rise. Take your inhale as you plant the heels, reach back a bit. And exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive. Traction your spine forward. Lift your heels to tilt the pelvis even further forward. So it's almost like you're diving off of a diving block, right? Where it feels like you're almost propelling yourself forward. And fold in. Inhale, undulation, slow unraveling. Make sure that your neck is the last part of your spine to unravel. Exhale, fold in. Root down, rise up. Keep the heels lifting. Quads active, abs strong. When you're ready to inhale, push down through the heels. Sweep the arms overhead, take a back bend. And exhale, hands to heart center. Make sure your navel is drawing back to your spine. Last time, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, pouring your torso forward, pulling first, right? As though someone were pulling on your rib cage for you. And then finally, draping the body down. Inhale, slow extension. And exhale, fold. Good. Now, before we move into our A series, just bring your hands to your inner elbows. Let your forearms weigh heavy. Lift your heels again, just slightly. Bend your knees if you need to. And with your heels lifting, you're going to notice that your quads start to work a lot harder. And I mean just a millimeter off the floor, okay? Your shin bones are moving forward. Your weight moves more forward into the front of your feet. Try to relax your neck here. It's really challenging because it does feel like we're about to move into a somersault if we let our neck relax. But when you let your neck and head relax and weigh heavy, we get to decompress the cervical vertebrae while we make the quads and the abs work that much harder. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Again, it's going to feel a little precarious. We're practicing for other precarious situations. Take a final exhale. Maybe use your abs to bring your ribs in a bit closer. And then plant your palms. Take your in-breath, extend. Good. Jump back or walk back, and we'll move right into our A series from here. Exhale, lower slowly, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. You can always take a low cobra here. Exhale, take an extra push-up if you'd like, and then back to downward facing dog. Good. For this first down dog, we're going to lift way up onto the pads of the toes and just move forward a little bit into a pike. Exhale, back to down dog. Lift way up onto the pads of the toes and forward. Exhale, back to down dog. Quads are strong, abs are emptying out your lower abdomen. One more time, lift way up onto maybe even the tips of your toes, moving into pike, keeping the hips higher than the shoulders. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. And now take a full breath here and a strong, long exhale. Once you're completely empty, hollow out your belly, find Uddiyana Bandha, and jump or walk your feet back to the top of your mat. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, crown towards your toes. Again, lift your heels maybe a millimeter, not more than a centimeter off the ground. Pull your body weight forward, quads are strong. When you're ready to reach your arms up, push your heels down at the same time. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, arms are rising. Exhale, pull your rib cage away from the pelvis, pouring your spine out of that vessel that is the pelvic bowl. Inhale, slow undulation, your neck is long. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Bend the elbows slightly here to pull the shoulders back a bit more. Take your extra push-up if you'd like, and back to downward facing dog. This time we're going to move into a high push-up on the in-breath and back to down dog on the out-breath. Inhale, high plank, quads are strong, abs are active. Exhale, press back, down dog. One more time, inhale, high push-up position. Bend your elbows slightly here. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and down dog. Exhale to empty out. Once you are empty, again, hollow out and find Uddiyana Bandha there in the lower abdomen. Jump forward or walk forward while holding your out breath. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Lift the heels just a tiny bit. Push your weight forward as you reach your arms out. Your legs are going to shake more, right? Keep the hips over your heels. When you're ready to inhale, heels come down, arms rise. Take your back bend. And exhale, hands back to heart center. One more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, dive. Moving forward. Again, think about your shin bones actually moving forward. Thigh bones are moving back, kneecaps are drawing up. Inhale, slowly unravel, lengthening the sides of your torso as well here. Jump back or walk back to your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Bend those elbows. Exhale, extra push up if you'd like, and downward facing dog. Good. This time we're going to bend one knee, and as we bend that knee, we're bringing the ribs to the thigh, and then switch sides. The other leg, while it is straightening, you're bringing that heel all the way down to the ground. Please move slowly through this so you can feel the stretch and feel the mobilization of the lower pelvis, of your lower spine and the pelvis. Do 3 of these on each side. But make sure that you're not just putting yourself on autopilot and moving quickly through this. Really feel why we're doing this, right? And then again, both heels press down. Root down through the palms. Draw the thigh bones back with that quadricep strength. And feel the weight of your pelvis draw up a little more as you exhale and hollow out the front of the pelvis. Good. From there, jump or walk your feet forward. Take your in-breath. Exhale, crown toward the ground. Bend your knees now, weight into your heels, rise up for Utkatasana. Holding here for Utkatasana. Strong, long inhale to lift the entire rib cage up. A stronger, longer exhale to plug your sit bones down and back. So we're not over tilting the butt back, nor are we tucking under. All right, it's a neutral spine, but the pelvis is descending down. Take one final inhale here. Exhale, both hands to the earth, straighten out your legs and fold it in. Inhale, spinal extension, taking your time. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. Good, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, keep doing that extra push-up if you'd like. Back to down dog. Take an in-breath, lift your right leg up. And then exhale, bring your knee to your forehead and forehead to knee. Inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, bring it in. Good, and your hips are on the same plane as your shoulders there. One more time, inhale, let the leg reach a little higher. Exhale, bring the knee in a bit closer. Good. Step your right foot through your hands and press your back heel flat. Root down, let's rise up to warrior one. Holding warrior one here. Let your body traction out. Let every inhale be about the rising, the lifting, the expanding. And then each time you exhale, connect to the grounding, the stabilization, the strength work. Take another inhale to let the ribs rise higher. On your next exhale, we're going to open out to warrior two. So we'll face the left side of the room. Your left heel and right heel are lined up with each other at this point. Arms are reaching out. Good. Make sure your triceps are hugging your arm bones. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Spine is long. Good. And your shoulders, your hips, everything is on the same line. So one isn't higher than the other. One isn't more forward than the other, right? Everything in line. Take one more inhale here. Good. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Bring your right arm up over your right ear. Reaching your right arm as far away from your right knee as possible. Slide your left hand down toward the outside of your left shin. Try to bring your right arm parallel with the floor. Make sure you're not sinking into your left shoulder here. Just keep sliding your left fingers down a little further. Draw those heels isometrically toward each other and take one final exhale. Inhale back up to a warrior two. Don't lift your pelvis, just keep it where we placed it. Good, and then windmill your arms down. Step your right leg back to meet your left leg. Take an inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Bring it into your forehead, forehead to knee. Inhale, lift the left leg. Pull your weight up and back with the strength of your left leg. Exhale, bring it in. Bend the elbows as you bring the knee in. One more time, without locking the elbows. See if we can go a little bit further. Good. Step your left foot through. Press your back heel flat. Root down and rise up for warrior one. Make sure you're not letting your knees splay out and sink down. You're hugging in with both inner thighs here. Then you're rooting through the outer edge of your right foot and the inner edge of your left foot. And your heels are isometrically dragging into midline. So we activate the legs even more. The pelvis is descending, not sinking, not heavy, but actually pulling downward as the ribs rise. Right, so the ribs aren't sinking down toward the pelvis, and the pelvis is not rising with the ribs. They're moving in two equal and opposite directions. Take a final in-breath here. Exhale, open out to warrior two, facing the left side of the room. Again, left thigh bone parallel with the floor. Both heels are lined up with each other. Both hips are lined up, and both shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Your arms are strong. In fact, really use the strength of your arms to stretch out your pecs here. Good. Fantastic, everybody. Keep dragging the heels isometrically toward each other. The moment you do, you're going to feel a lot more strength work in those legs. One more inhale. Exhale into reverse warrior. Start by just bringing your left arm over your left ear, right hand down, and then work on deepening the pose by first bending into this left knee, but not moving your weight forward into the left knee. The pelvis is still descending down, right? Good. Good. And then go further by sliding the right fingertips or even walking your fingertips further down the right shin, left arm reaching parallel with the floor to the best of your ability. So come back up to a warrior two, inhale. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Step your left foot back to meet your right foot. Deep in breath here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowing down the breath. Filtering, and again, using as many senses as possible. Feeling the way the pose is feeling in this moment. Listening to your breath and your heartbeat. Seeing where the breath is and also noticing where your breath may not be. And then using your mind to decide where to direct your next breath. One final exhale here. Jump forward or walk forward. Inhale when you land. Exhale, fold, crown towards your toes. Good, now we're gonna turn the heels in and the toes out and move into a low squat, bringing your hands to your heart center. If this is not happening, please keep doing Utkatasana instead, and you can even change your arm position if you'd like. Otherwise, we're down in that low squat. Feel free to keep your heels off the floor and widen your stance if you need to. Take another deep inhale here, and this time use your inhale to broaden the knees, open the knees, use a little strength in the arms to press the knees further away from each other. Grow the torso up, grow your neck. Right, good, and then exhale, both hands to the ground. Jump back or walk back, and down into chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Again, you're going to bring your weight forward, but not let it sink into the shoulders. So as your knee comes in, push back through that left heel even more. Now we're going to step the right foot to the outside of your right hand and move into a lunge here. Push back through your left heel. Both hands are going to stay on the floor, but we're not sinking, right? Push down with the palms, push back with left heel. Draw the crown of your head forward. So we take all the rounding out of the spine. Take another deep inhale. Good, as you exhale, turn to your left. You're going to walk your hands to the left side of your mat. Slide your left heel back so it's in line with your right heel. And then either stay here with both hands on the ground underneath your shoulders, or move into a lower side lunge by shifting your left foot, the left toes off the floor, and moving into the side lunge, kind of a half Malasana pose. Again, if this is too much, keep your left foot on the floor, keep both hands on the ground. Otherwise, start to work over so that your right knee is protruding past your toes. But again, our weight isn't moving into the right knee. The weight is moving into the earth. If you'd like to do this bound position, please feel free. Open up the left side of your chest. Good, take one final inhale in this side lunge. As you exhale, both hands will come back down to the floor if they're not already there. You're going to bring your heels to turn in, toes turn out, hands come to thighs for this wide second plie pose or horse dance, right? Make sure that your knees are basically over your ankles. It doesn't have to be super precise there. Again, we're not putting weight into the knees if we keep our quads strong. Bring your arms up, push down to the heels. Take a wide V here with both arms and hold this pose. Draw the shoulder blades down. Keep the neck growing longer, as though you're trying to root the crown of your head into the sky. Take one final inhale. But exhale, let's straighten out the legs a bit. Bring the left hand down. Your heels are still turned in, your toes are still turned out on purpose, okay? Then we're gonna twist. And at this point, I do want you to let this left hip drop down. I know usually we talk about keeping them squared, but just let the left inner thigh pull your left femur bone toward midline. Right arm will come up and your spine is extending, right? So the side view, if you need to see that, is this. Your left hip is lower than the right. Your chest is reaching open, and we're tucking the left ribs underneath the right ribs. Let's take another deep inhale here. Awesome. All right, and as you exhale, bend into your right knee, keep your left leg straight, and then reach your left arm forward as you reach your right arm back. Root down to the outer edge of your left foot. Turn your palms so that they're facing in. Left palm faces into midline, right palm faces into midline. Both arms are reaching from your center, from your navel. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, both hands down, right leg steps back to meet the left leg. Continue your vinyasa. Remember, even if I don't say it, please give yourself permission to take breaks whenever you need to. And of course, to skip the vinyasas when you need to. Bringing that left leg up, we're going to bring the left knee to the left elbow now. Inhale, let the left leg rise. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale. Just because we're moving forward doesn't mean we're letting the weight move into the joints. Keep drawing in through your core. You'll also hopefully feel your pecs working. Step your left foot to the outside of the left hand. Press your right heel flat. Good. Again, you can stay here. Check in with this left knee. This knee can protrude past the toes, but we don't want to move our weight into the knee, okay? So if we decide to go into that lower squat position, pelvis is moving down, pelvis is descending toward the earth. Bring the left elbow or left arm really inside that left inner knee and right arm up if you'd like. And of course, you can do the bound position if you want to. Open up the right shoulder. No matter what you're doing, make sure you're not letting your chest cave in here. Please breathe in a way that supports keeping yourself off of autopilot, right? Tuning in to tangible presence through the feedback of the body. So I take one final inhale here in this low side lunge. Exhale, both hands down if they're not already there. Bring both heels to turn in. They should already basically be turned in at this point. Hands come to the thighs or arms can reach up. This time we're going to clasp the hands, press the palms away from the crown of the head and see if we can sit down a little deeper. Keep the elbows soft so you're not locking out your elbows here. Root down through the heels. Get those calves working. Awesome. One more inhale. Exhale, straighten out your legs. Bring your hands down. Keep your toes turned out. Right hand stays on the ground. Left arm comes up. Let the right hip drop. Pull the right inner thigh. Your right femur bone toward your left thigh with your inner thigh. And make sure you're not caving in or rounding or sinking, right? So left arm extends, but think of your left arm extending from the sternum, stacking the left arm over the right, telescoping the ribs forward. Like you're unfolding that telescope, right? So that the telescope just extends and extends and extends. Neck gets longer as well. Take a final in-breath here. Good. As you exhale, bend into this left knee. Your left toes are still turned forward. Sweep your left arm back as you bring your right arm up, reaching forward and back. And you may want to, especially if you feel any torquing in this right knee, step your right foot to the right so that your heels are lined up with each respective hip rather than lining up with each other. Both palms face in toward midline. Extend your spine. One final breath. Exhale, both hands down, step the left leg back. And please feel free to take a break here or move through your vinyasa or change your vinyasa. Moving back into downward facing dog, please take 5 breaths. Soften the face, the jaw, the eyes, and the forehead. Truly feel the support of the earth beneath you. And feel as you decide to root down, Feel a lightening up or a buoyancy happen on your next in-breath especially. Breathe into the back of your body like you're puffing up a little parachute back there. And on your final exhale, really empty out. Take the time to hollow out and lower that lower belly. Jump forward or walk forward. Inhale to extend. Exhale, draw the crown down. Bend your knees, weight into your heels. You're going to turn the heels in and toes out again. Move into your low squat. This time, bring your right hand down and left arm up. Now, if you're still doing an Utkatasana, you're doing a twisting Utkatasana here to the left. Again, if you want to do your bound position, bend your right elbow, reach back, reach around the back of your body with your left arm and clasp your hands together. Pull the knees open. If that's too much, just keep the right hand down and the left arm open. And kind of the middle of the road would be to just bend the left elbow, reach around and grab your right inner thigh, or press the back of your hand into the right side of your lower back. So I take one more inhale here. And exhale, both hands down to the ground. Jump back or walk back to your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog and down dog. Inhale, right leg will rise. Exhale, bring your right knee to your left elbow now. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bring it in. Once again, inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Slide your right leg to the left, standing up onto the left toes. Inhale, lift your left arm up and reach that left arm over your left ear, arching away from the floor with the right side. Please make sure again that you're not asking your joints to support you here. Let your arms shake, let your legs shake, knowing that that is just feedback that your body is giving you, telling you you are working your muscles. But now swivel the left arm all the way through the shoulder. Bring the left hand back down to the ground. Push down into the arms to lift the pelvis a little higher than the shoulders here. So that as you bring this right leg back in, excuse me, you can bring your forehead to your knee and your knee to your forehead. So now inhale, open the right leg back up. Bending your right knee. Look how easy it is to sink into the shoulders here. So again, quads are strong on the left leg. Push the thigh bone back. As you push your thigh bone back, pull your body weight back. Then hug left inner thigh into midline to turn the pelvis open. Okay, so don't do that with your right knee. Do it with the left inner thigh. See if you can cross the midline of the body so that your right foot moves to the left. Pull your body weight out of your shoulders with the strength of your right glutes and right hamstrings. So again, don't let this right leg be heavy. So take one more inhale. Exhale, step your right foot to the left. And then flip it open into an upside down down dog, or what a lot of people call wild pose, wild thing. Push down through your feet. Engage your glutes, push the thigh bones toward the sky. Arch away from the floor. Again, look for muscular energy and don't assume it's going to be there. This is part of us practicing tangible presence. Do you feel your muscles working? If not, they're probably not working, right? One more inhale, swivel that right arm all the way around and through. And now from here, step your right foot all the way through your hands. Push back to the left heel. Take an inhale, bring your right arm up, opening up into twisting lunge. Good, exhale, swivel the right arm all the way through. Reach your right arm forward here. Inhale, open. Keep pushing back through that left heel. Exhale, reach forward. One more time, inhale, open. Good, exhale, swivel the right arm all the way through. Bring the fingers forward while you push the left heel back. Extend the spine as much as you can. One final in-breath in lunge position. Now straighten out your right leg and step your left toes in and to the left a little more. Reach your right arm forward first. Claw the floor with your left fingertips, so come up a little higher. And then simply open to the right for twisting triangle. Now, I've said this a lot, but the twist is not starting with your right arm or your right shoulder or your head, because that's where it'll end, okay? It starts way down here in those inner thighs. So start by dialing, or hugging in, I should say, with the inner thighs. Use that hugging in to dial the pelvis around. Once the pelvis dials around, extend the ribs away from the pelvis. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. So your arm is simply following what your legs have started. And if you do want to look up at your right hand, look up with your eye muscles. You don't need to turn your whole head. Drishti is about working your eye muscles, not your neck muscles. One final inhale. Exhale, both hands down. Step your right leg back and lower to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Hug everything in. Inhale, lift. Make sure that you're also hugging your elbows in. Bring the elbow in to meet the knee. Slide your left leg underneath you to the right. Lift the right arm up. And arch away from the floor. The sticky mat is not so sticky. So your left ribs are lifting up and away from the ground. Your right ribs are flaring open. Breathe into those right ribs. Push down with the sole of your right foot. You can even push down with the outer edge of your left foot. Then take your right hand back down. Bring the left knee back in. Forehead to left knee. Abs strongly engaged. Good, and then as you keep your left knee bent, bring the leg back. Pull the kneecap toward the ceiling. Hug your right femur bone to midline with your right inner thigh to help you open up the left hip. Okay, so we're not sitting in the right hip. Okay, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I hope I can get into an angle that you can see. So this would be sitting in the hip or turning from the hip to open the left knee versus rooting down to the inner edge of the right foot, hugging in and then opening up the hip. All right, hopefully you can feel that integrity rather than the compromise. Step your left foot to the right side of your mat, root down through your right hand, bending your right elbow, arch away from the floor. Decide to use your back muscles more, use your legs a lot more. Make sure that you're not sinking into your lower spine. Both arms are very active as well here. Keep working, keep breathing. Take one final inhale. Maybe the hips rise a bit higher. Arch your back a bit more. Slide, bring your left hand back down and step your left foot through your hands, sliding your right leg back. Claw the floor with your fingertips, right fingertips. And inhale, open to the left. Good, feel the mobilization here, right through the torso. And then take your left arm forward, push the right heel back. Inhale, open up. See if you can open your left armpit toward the sky. Exhale, circle all the way around and forward. Once again, open up. Try to keep your right knee out of this and forward. Open it back up. Bring it forward once again. Now keep the arm forward. Step your right foot in a bit and straighten out your left leg. Both feet line up with each respective hip here. Hug in with both inner thighs so we get out of that sinking into right glutes. So we're already dialing the hips around. And now just open up. Dial the left sit bone back. Root down to the inner edge of your left foot. Dial or telescope the ribs forward while the pelvis is dialing around. Make sure you're not locking out your left knee. Twisting triangle. Go ahead, keep working it, right? One of the things about practicing presence tangibly is that we're going to get constant feedback from the body. It doesn't mean we don't respond to that feedback, right? So if the feedback is saying, I can't get breath to happen here, then you respond to that feedback by, okay, let me open it more. Okay, and that's part of practicing tangible presence. So take both hands back to the ground. Step your left foot back. Move through your vinyasa. Back to down dog. And 5 breaths in downward facing dog. Whew. Softening where you can. Again, feeling the buoyancy on the in-breath. Using your mind's eye to create even more buoyancy. Using the strong exhale. And picturing with your mind's eye, right, the muscles that are involved in the exhale, making sure that they are working, watching them. Take a final exhale here. Once you are empty, find that bandha, jump forward. We're going to take one more low squat here. This time, left hand down and right arm up, or take your twisting Utkatasana, twisting to the right. Okay, so level 1, we stay right here, left hand down, right arm up. Level 2, bend the right elbow, reach around, grab your left inner thigh with your right hand, or just press the back of your hand into the left side of your lower back. And if you can do the bound position, go ahead and do that. If that caves your left shoulder in and you can't get it back open, then I'm going to invite you to take a different pose. Remember, you can take twisting Utkatasana here instead. And you can also keep your heels lifted and your feet wide. So I take one final in-breath. One more exhale to wring out one last time. Bring both hands back down to the ground. Keep your legs in Malasana. And if you aren't there or weren't there, come into Malasana for a moment. Plant your hands to the ground. Make sure your hands are about shoulder distance apart. And now we're going to move into crow pose or tripod. Okay. So depending on where you're at today and how you're feeling, lift your heels way up off the floor. Bring your knees up to the backs of your arms. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Really, your index finger is right in line with your inner shoulder. Go into crow pose if you can, bringing the toes up to touch. You're going to hug into midline with both inner shins and both inner thighs. So you're squeezing your inner knees around your outer arms as close to the shoulders as possible. If that's not happening, bring the very top of the forehead to the floor instead, and then bring your toes up into tripod. Okay, either one of those. Try that a few times. Take a few more breaths here. And then when you are ready, please bring your feet back down to the floor. Make sure you're in the center of your mat and just sit down, bringing your feet forward. Keep the feet wider than your hips here. Turn your heels in and your toes out. Good. Take an in-breath to open up the chest. You can hold on to the shins. As you exhale, keep holding on to your shins. Lean back, flare your elbows out. Make sure your abs are strong here. Inhale, pull the elbows back, shoulders down, chin up. Exhale, let the elbows flare out. Let the chest cave in. Spread the shoulder blades away from each other and bring your chin in. Please make sure your core is very much engaged. One more time, elbows draw back. If we don't engage our abs there, we're just sinking into the lumbar spine and we're kind of screwing with our lumbar curve. So make sure that's not happening. Abs can engage and you'll feel how that takes the pressure off. Last time, we're going to move back into an extended spine position. Lift the feet up off the floor. Now, if you already feel like this is enough of a challenge for balance, stay right here. Otherwise, take your hands to the outside of the shins. Extend the legs out to either side of the room into a straddle. Don't have to be very wide. If you are more flexible, you can grab your big toes before you extend out. If that bunches up your shoulders around your ears, take a different pose. Please make sure, again, that we're not sinking into our lower back here. We're balanced on the sit bones, which is going to feel precarious. Precariousness is a feeling that we should be practicing for because we feel precarious a lot in life, right? So the more we practice here on our mat while it's safe, the better we're able to respond to those precarious situations with integrity. Take 2 more breaths here. Again, we're not trying to hold this rigidly. If it's really a still pose, we're probably sinking into our spine. Now, I'd like you to release the hold on your legs and see if you can just hold the legs up in and of themselves while you reach your arms forward. Good, just 2 more breaths here. 1 final inhale. Keep the legs separate, bring the heels down, sweep the arms overhead. Maybe we can slide the legs out a little bit wider, maybe not, just check. Exhale, just like we did at the very beginning of our practice, tilt your pelvis forward. So if you're way back here, you can't tilt the pelvis forward, right? This is, again, compromising. So if that's the case, bend the knees, and you'll feel how bending the knees will eventually move you back into a neutral spine. Then you're going to hinge forward. So we have that pouring forward. Hands come to the ground. Then you can start to straighten out your legs. It's all good. Those of you who are more flexible, your legs can stay straight from the beginning. Your intention is to eventually bring the chest to the ground, forehead to the floor. Your arms are reaching as far forward as possible. Breathe in whatever pose that you are in. And remember, this is about feeling. This is not about how far I can go, how far you used to go when you were in 8th grade, right? How far you think everyone else is going. It's about how you are feeling and how the breath sounds when you're in this pose. We are learning how to practice tangible presence because when we're off our mat, we need it. We need to start listening to our gut, to our breath. We need to start feeling, oh, my jaw is getting tense or my stomach is starting to churn, right? This is practice for real world stuff, very practical and very useful. Good, we're here for about 2 more breaths. So again, activate this idea that what we're doing here is feeling, seeing, perceiving, right? Listening, practicing using the skills, or using our senses rather, to skillfully respond to feedback. Take a final exhale and maybe we go a little bit further. And then walk your hands back in toward the groin slowly. Once you're there, again, make sure that you're somewhere in the middle of your mat. Bend your knees and take a hold of the backs of the thighs or the creases of the knees. And then roll back. So hold on. Again, this is going to be a little shaky. You're going to roll onto the small of your back here. So not your back ribs, just the small of your back. Bring your legs out. I'm going to ask you to just keep, even if you're super strong, keep holding on to the outsides of the thighs here, because if we don't, we'll probably drop onto the ribs and then we won't feel this nearly as much, okay? So if you do drop onto your ribs, start over. Just onto the small of the back, ribs stay off the floor. Now bring your legs slowly together and reach your arms forward. If that drops you onto your ribs, hold on to your thighs again, rock forward, stay off of the ribs, stay on the small of your back. Maybe you do 1 arm at a time. Right? Good. 2 more breaths. This one we don't need to hold for long. This is Ardha Navasana. There's hardly anything more precarious than half of a boat, right? That in no way can make us feel good and stable. All right, let's roll onto the back. Draw the knees into the chest, rock side to side. All right, we're gonna move into my new favorite thing. I'm gonna have you clasp your hands behind your head. Bring your left leg and extend it up to the ceiling. And make sure it's over your left hip. Keep your right knee bent, take a deep in-breath. Exhale, draw belly button in, lift the head and shoulders up. And then as you bring your left elbow to the right knee, extend the left leg forward so that it moves parallel to the floor. Keep your elbow and your knee touching and just extend the left leg back up and back down parallel with the floor. Over the hip and back down. Over the hip and back down. Keep that going. We're going to do about 10 or 12 of these. If you're not feeling enough yet, you want to make sure that you're not just sitting on that right shoulder. Try to keep the right shoulder blade off the floor. 2 more. Last time. Good, and then really keeping your left leg straight and forward, reaching it forward. Push your right knee into your left elbow, draw the navel down. Inhale, release your head, neck, and shoulders, draw both knees in, and rock it side to side. I hope you feel that like I feel it. If you're not really feeling that, I want to encourage you to look for a way to engage those muscles first before you move the leg. So it's not just, again, it's not, what's the word? Momentum, right? We're not moving the right leg with momentum. We're moving it after we engage our core. So let's try that same thing. We're going to extend the right leg up, keep the left knee bent, bring the head, neck, and shoulders up, and right elbow to left knee. Good, and then take an inhale to extend the right leg forward and bring it back up. Extend and up. Just keep pushing the right elbow into the left knee. Please make sure, and again, notice how easy it is to just kind of check out and move the leg up and down. Practice being tangibly present. Practice telling your body with your mind, right, to do the work that we're looking for. Just 3 more. One more time. Extend your right leg, bring it parallel with the floor, push the right elbow into the left knee. Good, and release. Whoa, all right, bring those knees in, rock side to side a few times. And then please take both knees over to the left, bring your left forearm to the top of the right thigh. Bring your right arm over your head today. So your right bicep is directly in line with your right ear. And then lift it up off of the ground for a moment. And reach as far toward the wall behind your head as possible. And pull it to the right, but keep reaching as far away from your right ear as you can. Turn your head to the left so that your chin moves to the left shoulder. Keep reaching your right arm kind of up and to the right as strongly as you can to help feel a nice, one more time, a nice stretch across the chest. So take a final exhale here. See if your left ear can get any closer, at least shine toward the ground. But now keeping your knees where they are, just turn your head. Bring your right shoulder blade to the earth, if at all possible. Now turn your head to the right. Bringing the right ear as close to the ground as you can, and allowing the right arm to reach below the shoulder now toward the right wall. And just let it rest on the floor at this point. Take a final exhale, using the exhalation to wring out your entire spine from the inside. Release your left forearm down And bring those knees back up. Slowly bring your gaze back to neutral as well and rock side to side. So these twists for me are never passive, right? It's nice to just kind of move and flop around a little bit, but we can do that on our own time. So when we're in our yoga practice, it's about this is how we learn anatomy, right? Our body can actually teach us about anatomy if we watch what muscles are involved in this twist. So make sure it's active. Your knees are going to come to the right. Your right forearm is on the left side. Left arm is going to reach up and over your head to begin with. Reach your fingers toward the back wall without the hand touching the floor. Take a huge inhale. This should feel like a nice long stretch from your hip up to your fingertips. Now start to swivel the left arm to the left. Keep the palm up. Keep your left hand off the ground though, reaching somewhere above the shoulder. So in between being above the shoulder and right over the head, right? Somewhere in between there, wherever it helps you feel this stretch on the chest, really right where your pecs meet your shoulder. Turn your head to the right, chin comes toward the right shoulder, left arm reaching to the left. This should feel good on the neck muscles as well as the chest. Breathe and reach. Good, now go ahead and lower the left arm below the shoulder. Reach the left arm even more to the left and bring the back of your hand to the ground. Turn your head now slowly to look over the left shoulder. Keep pressing down with your right forearm. Feel the stretch now on your neck muscles there and your upper traps on the right side. Bring the left shoulder blade to the earth, the back of the left shoulder to the ground. Your knees are still tracking to the right. You can add that engagement of your core to pull the sit bones closer to the knees. Final exhale and really, really, truly ring out. Good, and then bring your gaze slowly back to neutral. Bring the knees back up over your hips and rock side to side yet again. And grab your shins, bring your forehead up to meet your knees, knees in to meet the forehead, shoulders down away from the ears. As you release your head, neck, and shoulders back down to the earth, extend your arms out and your legs directly up over your hips. We're just going to take 3 breaths here today because we're out of time. Viparita Karani. Notice how you're able to take a very deep and calm breath, but it still requires our attention. It still requires effort. It still requires tangible presence. Now, if you know that you have the strength, bring both legs down at the same time. If you're kind of done, just do one leg at a time, but extend the legs eventually all the way down to the earth. When your heels touch the ground, take an inhale and spread out into star pose. Lifting one hip and then the other. Lift one shoulder blade and then the other. And then rock side to side as quickly as you can. Sifting eventually all of that tension that we brought up to the surface into the earth. Now go ahead and please just release any need to effort your breath, any need to hold your body in a certain way. Let your bones give in to the pull of gravity. Let your muscles fall away from the bones. Let the heaviness of your bones, your muscles, your connective tissue, your internal organs, let all of that sink into the earth. And let the lighter aspects of you, right, our breath, our spinal fluid, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, whatever, all of that lighter stuff, we're going to let that propel us upward so that we can feel the heaviness of the physical body and the lightness of the subtle at the same time. One more time before we finish off our practice. I'll ask you to feel whatever there is to feel. Perceive